Yeah, I'm gonna let this thing. When the sound comes in, I'm not sure whether it's in. Yeah, it's an interesting year. That's the first time the big house above us, the chalet, um, has been pretty much hidden from view. Like I said, there's lots and lots of vegetation this year. I figured I'm gonna do something. I've been lucky enough that some of you seem to like the pictures I take. I'll tell you the story a little bit. For about 15 years, I have done this, and I picked this spot because luckily I live here and I look out at it every day. Come on back over here. In the wintertime, all the leaves are gone and you got all kinds of room, but now it's down to shooting in windows. And down here is about where I can see through to get the LPCC, Lonesome Pine Country Club. Because the hole done closed. If I move over here, oops, I gotta hold the camera, don't I? If I move over here, and there's those cliffs there. And that's up through that hole. And I can go in and out and see how much I can get out of it. And this one's closed in. I'll bring it around here as soon as I can get here. This house was the old golf pro's house, Kyle Miner. And I got these wires, but I try and shoot with the tree covering most of the wires, and I get that little tree out there, and then I can shoot over here, and there's something that's happening over there. And then I go up, and then there's up towards Maples Gap, which I've talked about. And there's this hole through here. And you've all seen this if you've looked at the pictures. And then sometimes I'll shoot down towards Todd Barnett's. This is the 15th hole. This dog leg comes from over there, comes across here. And some folks are a little unsuccessful, so they end up right there. We've lost one window here at Rancho Deluxe East. There it is. It's been a remarkable experience this spring. But I've been taking, I am sure thousands. I do it almost every day. You've seen it. And that's actually been one of my great enjoyments during this pandemic, is really kind of getting to meld into this place. This is a pretty unique place. Coming out here from Montana, it took me a long time to settle in, but I will say there are very few places on earth I'd rather be than right here, Southwest Virginia. At least for part of the time, and then my time in Montana kind of fixes that for me. It's two very similar. There's another shot back here over the butterfly bush. These are kind of like hitting my marks. Anyway, when I think of this spot here versus what's going on in the cities, and I don't belittle anyone who lives in one. I got too many friends who work in them, especially entertainers. It's really hard to make a living out here, believe me, although we make a lot of music. If you can tell, it's also getting hazy. You get 3 or 4 days in this country anymore of a high comes in and sort of sits there. That first day, you better get your pictures as far as anything down in the valley. I looked at taking pictures of the valley today, and there's just too much haze. You can clean some of it up, and I think all of you know I touch these up a little, but I don't do a ton to them. I kind of do the standard You punch the button and it does the stuff. I am not a technician, although I've worked in a darkroom. I just love the way the light plays across this place. It's all these little angles and the trees and the green. When I first came out here, I said I'd come to the Emerald Forest. That's hard to believe it's 26 years ago. And now I'm starting to get ready to make my way back out to Montana for a bit, work on that Rancho Deluxe West. If you ever don't know what Rancho Deluxe is, go check out the movie. It's a Montana kind of film. But right here, this spring, as tough as this has been, I consider us extremely lucky people. And I think about the folks who are not as lucky as us. I'm sorry, but I'm not a great Christian. First of all, I always am questioning things. That's the newspaper man in me. And the artist. But looking around, we have got to figure this out. I mean, we can have a guy in the White House who watched too many John Wayne movies and never really figured out in his head that John Wayne was an actor. I know. Named Marion Morrison. Good one. I watched him too. But it's like we used to laugh when the cowboys shot their guns and they shot 422 times out of a 6-shot pistol. Well, we got a president who, that's how he looks at stuff, I think. This is a whole lot more complicated than John Wayne and a 422-shot pistol. We got a diverse group of people in this country. We always have. I think a lot about my Native American friends because they ain't getting talked about, but they were the first ones to get screwed. And it's always been a complicated conflict between people who think they're better than anyone else and everybody else. But like I wrote the other night, you get people hot, tired, been shut in for 2 months, 3 months, watched their friends die, because we're not really even thinking of how nasty the COVID thing could get. We built that garage, by the way. I kind of came up with the idea, and basically, it's a stage. We never did it, but there are 2 rooms. One could be a dressing room, and the other one could be an equipment room. And I'd thought about doing that. I was sorry about the swish pan. But anyway, I've talked for quite a while. I will end with this. I commend the people up at Norton the other day. Yesterday. Thought about going, but this is a young person's game, and it's also, I got my own bugaboos with getting in the middle of a bunch of people right now. I've seen that game. I respect it. And I respect it. The only thing is, I hate to tell you this, folks, if you're out there listening, you got to do it more than one day if you're going to do it. Don't think that you can come wave the sign one day and that's going to get her done, because it ain't. This is Nancy, the Admiral just called. It's time for me to go in. I kind of like talking at you. I don't know how many of you listen. It's not the point. It's been one way of communicating out there, and bless Facebook, it's been kind of a lifeline at times. All of you, take care of yourselves. We ain't out of this. I mean, it's going to be interesting. But we sure as heck can take care of each other and be decent while we do it. There's Buffalo Gap, Virginia. Up there was the Lost City. There have been people in this country kind of trying to figure out how to live for a long, long time. Nancy's family goes all the way back with them. Me, I'm the one she found out in Montana. Y'all take care. Be well. Stay safe. And hold fast.